Celtic Myths and Legends by T.W. Rolleston, and we are continuing Chapter 1, The Celts in Ancient History. Early Celtic Art. You know, the runes and the knotworks and all that, and the ogams, and the runes actually come from over 10,000 years ago. It looks like maybe there was writing in Bosnia and where else over there? The Hungarians and stuff like that. So, anyways, the relics of ancient Celtic artwork tell the same story. In the year 1846, a great pre-Roman necropolis was discovered at Hallstatt, near Salzburg in Austria. It contains relics believed by Dr. Arthur Evans to date from 750 to 400 BCE. These relics betoken, in some cases, a high standard of civilization and considerable commerce. Amber from the Baltic is there, Phoenician glass, and gold leaf of Oriental workmanship. Iron swords are found, whose hilts and sheaths are richly decorated with gold, ivory, and amber. And Premier's Habitants, Volume 2, 255, Jubainville's. Okay. The Celtic culture, illustrated by the remains at Hallstatt, developed later into what is called Latena culture. Latena was a settlement at the northeastern end of the lake of Neuchâtel, and many objects of great interest have been found there since the site was first explored in 1858. These antiquities represented, according to Dr. Evans, the culminating period of Gaulish civilization and date from round about the 3rd century BCE. The type of art here found must be judged in the light of an observation recently made by Mr. Romilly Allen in his Celtic Art, page 13. The great difficulty in understanding the evolution of Celtic art lies in the fact that although the Celts never seem to have invented any new ideas, they possessed an extraordinary aptitude for picking up ideas from the different peoples with whom war or commerce brought them into contact. And once the Celt had borrowed an idea from his neighbors, he was able to give it such a strong Celtic tinge that it soon became something so different from what it was originally as to be almost unrecognizable. Now, what the Celt borrowed in the art culture, which on the continent culminated in the La Tena relics, were certainly originally naturalistic motifs for Greek ornaments, notably the palmette and the meander motifs, but it was characteristic of the Celt that he avoided in his art all imitation of, or even approximation to, the natural forms of the plant and animal world. He reduced everything to pure decoration. What he enjoyed in decoration was the alternation of long sweeping curves and undulations with a concentrated energy of close set spirals or bosses, and with these simple elements, and with the suggestion of a few motifs derived from Greek art, he elaborated a most beautiful, subtle, and varied system of decoration applied to weapons, ornaments, and to toilet and household appliances of all kinds, in gold, bronze, wood, and stone, and possibly, if we had the means of judging, the textile fabrics also. One beautiful feature in the decoration of metalwork seems to have entirely originated in Celtica. Enameling was unknown to the classical nations till they learned it from the Celts, so late as the 3rd century of the Common Era. It was still strange to the classical world, as we learn from the references of Philostratus. They say that the barbarians who live in the ocean, Bretons, pour these colors upon heated brass, and that they adhere, become hard as stone, and preserve the designs that are made upon them. Dr. J. Anderson writes in the Proceedings of the Society of the Antiquaries of Scotland, the Gauls, as well as the Bretons of the same Celtic stock, practiced enamel working before the Roman conquest. The enamel workshops at Bibracte, with their furnaces, crucibles, molds, polishing stones, and with the crude enamels in their various stages of preparation, have been recently excavated from the ruins of the city destroyed by Khazar and his legions. But the Bibracte enamels are the work of mere dabblers in art compared with the British examples. The home of the art was Bretagne, and the style of the pattern, as well as the association in which the objects decorated with it were found, demonstrated with certainty that it had reached its highest stage of indigenous development, for it came in contact with the Roman culture. The National Museum in Dublin contains many superb examples of Irish decorative art in gold, bronze, and enamels, and the strong Celtic tinge of which Mr. Romilly Allen speaks is as clearly observable there as in the relics of the Hallstatt or the Tenne. Everything, then, speaks of a community of culture, an identity of race character existing over the vast territory known to the ancient world as Celtica.